I was just having this discussion with myself, and I might post this as a little rant. And, you know, if you relate, I hope you find some kind of, I don't know. Anyways, I was thinking about times where I feel anxious, and I was just trying to understand, why do I feel anxious at those times? Now, there are 2 times I feel anxious. One, when I have something happening later on in the day. So that would be anticipatory anxiety, right? The second time would be when I am going to do something that I haven't done in a while. So whether that would be going back to the gym, using a certain form of transportation I haven't used in a while, going to a place I haven't been in a while, leaving the house, wearing something I haven't worn in a while. I'll use an example of today. So today I wanted to go to the cinema, and the closest transportation I could use was the tram. The tram is closer to my house, and it would drop me closer to the venue, to my destination. But because I haven't used the trams in what feels like over a month, I was scared to use the trams. I was like, no, let me use the buses, because I've been using the buses. So I was like, no, is there no closed bus that can take me? There was some closed buses that could take me, but they would drop me much farther. And then I was like, that doesn't make sense. I don't want to reach the cinema and I'm all sweaty, and because it's summer, it's freaking hot. You know. So I was really trying to find. I was trying to find other ways to not use the tram. I was like, I don't want to use a boat. I used the boat yesterday. That's already money spent. Okay, maybe I can walk further. There is a bus that would drop me closer. But I was like, that's still a distance. I don't want to walk too much. And it just it just hit me. And I was like, Ruth, what the hell are you doing? It's a no-brainer that you should use the tram that's closer to your house and that will drop you closer to your destination. Why are you finding other alternatives? Why are you feeling anxious about this? And it's because I haven't done it in a while. That's the same thing with the gym. That's the same thing with leaving the house. I told you guys, I don't know if I've mentioned it, but especially in 2023, I stayed indoors for so long that I became so anxious to be seen. I did not want to be seen, and I did not want to leave my house. Even for tiny things like going to the shop nearby, I just wanted to be in my house. Right? And another example of this, now this one would be anxious to wear something you haven't worn in a while. Now, we just came out of winter. We are now in hot summer. So yesterday I went to get my nails done. Shout out to my nail tech. She ate down. Anyways, I went to get my nails done. And while I was dressing up to go get them done, I planned to wear jeans, right? Now, I've been wearing jeans and long skirts since, I guess, the year started, right? They're just a few times I've worn short skirts or knee-length skirts, right? So I remember that I thrifted like a couple of shorts literally 2 weekends ago. So I was like, you know what, let me wear one of those, okay? Because I one thing about me is I'm not going to buy clothes and just let them sit in my wardrobe. I want to wear everything I buy. So I was like, you know what, I pulled out one of my shorts that stopped in between my thigh, half of my thigh. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to wear these shorts today. Now, you might be wondering, why is this a big deal? Now, I have hairy legs, okay? I have hairy legs. I'm a woman. Yes, I'm not transgender. I have hairy legs simply because it's genetic, okay? And I'm not insecure about them, but I will say, because it's not something that we see nowadays. I don't know if it's ever been a thing where women just have hairy legs, but since it's not something that we know or that we are used to or that we see, I would say I feel sometimes a certain way about it because I do sense the difference, okay? I am the difference, if that makes sense. So you walk in a room, I'm probably the one woman that you're going to see with hairy legs. Everyone else has shaved, smooth legs. So yes, I'm not insecure about this. I was insecure about it terribly in high school, but I've moved past it, okay? I love my legs, actually. But wearing these shorts today, or rather yesterday, I felt very self-conscious. And I was like, why the hell am I feeling this way? So I used an Uber to go to my nail appointment. So I literally walked out of my house, entered the Uber. It dropped me at the location. When I was coming back home, I used an Uber again, okay? I could have used the bus. I wanted to use a bus. I was supposed to use a bus, but I was so self-conscious that I was like, I don't want to walk in these shorts. I don't want to walk in these shorts. Let me just go back home. So I ordered a Bolt and it brought me straight to my door. Later in the day, I had to pick up a package and I was like, you know what? I'm going to wear these shorts. So I wore the shorts and I went. It was quite a journey. So I walked there and back to get my package. And while I was outside with those shorts on, I noticed something. People were not even noticing. People were not, or maybe if they did notice, they were not staring. They did not care. And I was like, wait, it's not this deep. It just clocked. I was like, it's not this, like, what's so abnormal or what's so appalling about a woman having, hair on her arms or hair on her legs? Because I'm just naturally hairy. That's one of the things I inherited from my dad, unfortunately. I'm just hairy, right? And you might say, Ruth, just shave your legs. Just shave your legs. Like, this is, there's no point of making this and whatnot, or making it a big deal. I choose not to. And one thing I told myself was, why am I shaving my legs? What's the perspective? What's the point? What place am I doing it from? Am I doing it from a place of, I don't want to stand out. Everyone is doing it, so I should do it. Am I uncomfortable? If I'm not uncomfortable, I'm not going to do it. Okay? And I actually find that my hairy legs keep me warm in the winter. Yes, they do. They keep me very warm in the winter. So why should I shave my legs? It just didn't make sense to me as I got older, and even up to now. But back to the point. So while I was outside, I did notice that no one was caring. And please don't get me wrong, I've worn shorts before. But because I haven't worn it in months, because I haven't really shown my legs in months, it now felt something that I had to relearn. It felt scary. It was like, oh, okay. But also, as somebody that looks the way I look, okay, as somebody that has hirsutism, somebody that hirsutism is facial hair, okay, I've also learned not to look at people's eyes when I'm walking. Guys, if you see me in public and you say, oh, maybe, and you probably think that I saw you and ignored you, I didn't see you, because I don't look at people's faces. I walk and I'm just looking straight into the air, like just blank. I don't look at people's faces. Do you know why? Because I know I'm going to get stares, either at my skin texture, you guys can see, but I have really textured skin, either from the waxing or my acne, whatever it is. So I know I'm always going to be looked at, and I'm always going to be stared, like, what's going on with her face? And for me, what really helps me to not let it constantly affect me, because you can walk out and be like, you can leave your house and say, oh, I'm not insecure, I choose to be confident. As soon as you step out there and then you get the stares, you get the nasty stares, you're gonna let that's gonna crush you. Okay, I understand. I've been there. Okay, the truth and the trick is, do not look at people's faces. I do not look at people's faces when I'm walking. And sometimes I can feel them staring, because especially ladies, if you know what I mean, we can feel stares. And sometimes I feel them staring. But for me, I choose to ignore it, because if I can't see you staring at me, then you're not staring at me. I can't see your facial expression. I can't see the disgust on your face when you look at me. I can't see the concern on your face when you look at me. So I have nothing to make of it, And also, in addition to, wearing something that you haven't worn in a while. Now, as a big person, one of the things that I rarely wear are sleeveless tops, sleeveless dresses. I never show my arms. Never ever show my arms. And I think I've probably only shown my arms maybe once. I think maybe once or twice in my whole life. And, even back home, even growing up, as a PK and PK, like pastor's kid, in a very conservative house and all that stuff, showing your arms, especially as a big person. And I always want to emphasize this. I know you guys are like, Ruth, don't make being fat your whole personality. It is my whole personality. Like, it has shaped how I've experienced certain things in this life. You guys will never understand if you're not fat. Let's just leave it at that. So people need to understand that as a fat person, what you wear is going to be interpreted differently. If we bring a small person here, and if we bring me here, and I wear a sleeveless turtleneck or a bodycon dress, this is not even about, oh, your stomach is showing or it doesn't flatter your body type. No, simply because maybe it's on my body, so maybe my boobs will look bigger. So now that's enticing, or that's that's sorry, not bigger, maybe like more, I guess, visible. I don't know how to explain it. And it's not like I'm showing cleavage, right? Or if I now have my arms out, oh, that's too flashy and too much and blah blah blah. So I always grew up covering up. Okay, covering up. Even now that I've discovered my style, modest, eccentric, you do realize that I still don't show my arms. I'm still very covered up in a fashionable sense, right? And today, when I went to the cinema, I didn't even notice until my sister actually, replied to a picture that I had posted. And she was like, "Oh, I like your fit. I'm happy that we've gotten out of that bubble of not showing our arms." And I was like, "Oh my goodness, I have my arms out. I didn't even notice." And I was like, wow, how far I've come. And this is probably just the second time, but I'm so eager to keep wearing stuff that show my arms, because the amount of times, I'm not going to get into detail, but there's this one experience that I had at home that was really sad. I had worn an outfit that was decent. I think it was decent. The only thing that was indecent was that I had big boobs. And we also need to talk about how bigger people have different rules when it comes to modesty. So all of a sudden, because a girl is curvy, so she has to wear baggy clothing. What is wrong about her curves? How about we teach the men to keep their eyes on above? Like, it makes no sense to me. Like, someone is wearing something modest, but because they have big breasts, all of a sudden it's hugging their breasts, so they should not. But then if they wear things that are too baggy, they are now too loose. They should learn to dress well. It's like, oh my goodness. Can we exist? Like, can we actually try to exist? Like, can we let women exist? Again, to touch on the whole hairy legs thing. And I think, as women, we have people like, oh my goodness, there's so many expectations of us, guys. There's so many expectations of us as women when it comes to beauty. Okay, the standards, these beauty standards have been set for us to somehow meet, for us to somehow, match up and mark up and whatever. So my conclusion, or just what I'm trying to say, is whatever change you decide to make to your body, think well and good. Oh my goodness, think well and good. Where is that decision coming from? You saying I don't like it, it's not enough, because feelings are fleeting. Okay, how many times have we seen somebody make a change, on their body or to their body, and then they don't like it? And keep in mind, this is something you can't reverse. Now, for me, when it comes to shaving my legs, as I mentioned, I just don't see the need to do it. It's not making me dirty, I think. And I also hate how, especially us women, we are the ones that have these, ideologies. I don't know, we associate body hair with dirty. So when you see somebody with body hair, you're like, that's dirty. It's not clean. It's not ladylike. What determines a lady? If she has body hair, something that she can't help. Okay, and you might say, okay, shave it. I shave it and then it comes back. What's the point? I wax. I have my own waxing kit. There is nothing stopping me from waxing my legs if I want to. But let me tell you guys, first of all, to be clean as a woman, we know what that costs. We know what that costs. And I'm not even counting menstruation and the pads and all that, okay? Now, you now have to look presentable, because being clean is not enough. No. No. You now have to look presentable. That costs money. So, and you have to understand that every single thing on a woman's body has a routine. That's literally where we're at in the beauty world. Every single body part has its own routine. So now if I shave my legs, then I now have to start worrying about maybe ingrown hairs. Then I now have to start worrying about what they call strawberry legs. So you find that I'm now piling things, just piling insecurities, piling things that are, and making them seem necessary, things that are so nonsensical. Okay, so now I have to now have a leg routine, and these things are not cheap at all. They're not cheap at all. And I'm just doing this simply because everyone else is doing it. Simply because that's the standard. That's the norm. That's what the ladies are doing. If I don't do it, I'm going to stand out. What's wrong with standing out? I think when it comes to body hair, I feel like the only part that should be kept clean should be shaved, because it does aid in, I guess, because it is unhygienic, is maybe armpit hair. Everybody should be shaving or waxing their armpit hair. That's just what I think. But any other part of the body, it's not necessary. Do what, I mean, you can want to do it, but it's not necessary. It's not freaking necessary, you know? And guys, there's just so much I want to say. I just want to rant about nothing. The second thing I've been thinking about, or the third or fourth, I don't know, I've lost count, is how as a big person, I've never had a bigger friend. I've never had a fat friend as well. Let's use the real words, fat, because that's what I am, okay? How as a fat person, I've never had a fat friend. And I was seeing a couple of videos about this on TikTok, and I was like, now that you mention it, I mean, I've always felt this way, but it's always nice to see somebody articulate your thoughts, because sometimes you struggle to do that, right? That just shows that we need to read more, by the way. But anyways, and I was like, oh my goodness, I wish I could have like a fat friend. And I know it sounds so funny for the skinny people to hear this, because, oh, why would you want somebody to be fat with you? Your skinny friends should, you know, you seeing your skinny friends should be the motivation for you to lose weight. I'm not talking about healthy. I'm not talking about being healthy. And yes, I can have a fat friend and we both want to achieve the same goal. That's fine. But, you know, the whole, like, imagine, guys, and I've had this so many times, being with a skinny friend and they're looking at you like, how the yuck did you get there? Like, how the yuck did you look? Like, how the yuck did you get here? And they don't even have to say it. And you might say, oh, Ruth, you're just insecure. This person just looked at you and this is what you're thinking. No, I know how to read people and you cannot tell me anything. I'm so sorry. I know how to read people. I can tell what you're thinking before you even think it, before you even say it. Sorry. You know, and you have your skinny friend, 52 kgs, 48 kgs, talking about some, oh my God, I feel fat. I'm scared to get fat. Girl, even if you tried, you would never get fat. Even if you tried, you know. And, you know, they just say these things. And I've reached the point where, okay, I give them grace. I understand, because my thing is, I get it. You can have your insecurities. When I'm not trying to say that only fat people are allowed to have insecurities. Skinny people can say, you know, they feel fat. Sure, sure. But when it now comes, when you now start saying comments or giving looks like, how did you get there? Or I could never be fat. Or judging how they look, or judging people that look like them, or not wanting to take photos with your fat friends, and not wanting to post photos with your fat friends, but you do it with your skinny friends, okay? And, you know, just these whole dynamics. And it's like, wow, okay. Oh, my greatest fear is being fat. Like, okay, how am I supposed to feel? But then again, I want you to be honest, you know? So it's kind of like, be honest, but then, it's guys, it's crazy. Like, my dream is literally to have a fat friend. Like, I love being around fat people. I just feel like being around a fat person, like, I feel like they already know 50% of me, because being fat, especially being fat your whole life, I'm not talking about, oh, you gained like 10 kgs and you lost like 10. No, I mean being fat. And I'm not talking about being fat and curvy, because you'll like to confuse the two. I'm saying being fat, and I guess what people would call shapeless. I'm not talking about the hourglass figure, big bum, small. No, fat, simply fat. Guys, it changes your view in life. I really say that I've reached a point where I don't want to talk about my weight and whether I want to lose weight. In fact, I've reached a point where if someone initiates or wants to probe some kind of conversation about my weight loss or whatever it is they think I have going on, I'll just tell them, yeah, I actually want to gain more weight. Yes. You know, I'm just tired of talking about weight. Oh, you're gaining weight, you're losing weight. What do you want to lose? What I do? I think I'm more than my body, and I'm tired of having conversations, whether with myself, with people, or people even having those conversations with me. We're past that. We're truly past that. Oh my goodness, this is such a random rant video. Will I post this on YouTube? I think so. I miss you guys so much, and I will come back when I come back. Please don't ask me. I don't know either. I'm really trying to get a camera. I don't know when that's going to happen, because I just found out I have a wisdom. Okay, I didn't just find out, but I just found out the price, okay, of extracting one wisdom tooth. Yeah, thank you. So because of those reasons, I may have to retract and just save a little money, a lot of money. But yeah, I really wanted to get a camera because I was just looking at my videos and I really don't like the quality. I want to give you guys good quality. I do. What a day, what a life. If you're watching this, I wish you the best. I hope that everything is going okay, at least okay for you. Don't forget to pray. Over here, we pray, we fast, we worship, we kabash, we do all the padadadadas, For the ones that are bedrotting and are depressed, don't stay in your house. One of the things I told myself that I'm doing this summer is I want to leave my house. And not just like mindlessly just walk around, because I hate that. Like, let's go do something, right? And don't wait for people. Don't wait for people. As soon as I want to do something, I'll ask maybe my people, okay, once or twice. If I get no's or I'm not sure, bye. I'll send you pictures. Bye. I feel like when you keep waiting for people to go do things with you, first of all, you're ruining the experience for yourself, because that's energy. That's already negative energy that's ruining your vibe, because you came to these people and you were like, oh, I want to do this and do this and do this. And then all of a sudden you're hearing no's and I'm not sure. It's dampening the mood. It's ruining your vibe. Just get up and go do it, okay? I really understand that, yes, there's some things that are fun with people. Yes, that's very true. Let's not deny that. Because I also don't like when people just have one truth and they run with it. No, it's not everything that's fun alone. Some things you need to go with people. In fact, some things are cheaper with people, okay? But just learn to do things alone. Learn to do things alone. You are your own person. You did not come here with a person, with a pair, even if you came as a twin, you are your own person. My mom would always say, you came to this world alone and you will live alone. So live your life, okay? Be sad, cry, do what you need to do to let those emotions out legally and respectfully, if they were respectful, anyway. But don't be too sad. Don't be sad for too long. That's my point. Cry, scream, bed rot, have a depressive week, but not for too long. I'm telling you guys, it will be a struggle to get back up. It will be a struggle to get back up, okay? Sadness, there's something so comforting about sadness, and it's something that we need to talk about in detail later, but it's dangerous, just how comfortable sadness can feel and how it's a prison for so many people. Like, we have intentionally caged ourselves. We're just there, like, that meme with SpongeBob, and he has like big handcuffs and he's just there, like, that's us with sadness. We're just there, like, and it's like, no, leave, like, be happy, but we're just there, like. But also, I think, don't try and chase happiness. Like, what the hell does that look like? What does happiness look like? I feel like you won't know until you just try to stop being sad, until you just start living your life intentionally. It's a daily thing you have to do, step by step, daily, intentionally. It's intentional. You don't just wake up and say, I'm going to be happy. Okay, well, you can make the decision to be happy and then live your life in accordance to that. But I don't know what chasing happiness looks like. I don't even know what happiness is. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you that I'm happy. But then again, we also shouldn't misunderstand or, misinterpret happiness as absence of sadness. I think both of them can coexist. Guys, I'm talking too much, okay? I hope you have an amazing life, and bye.